Welcome back to the Guile treatment. We got myself, we got Barrett, we got Cameron Park winning Akuma player Iari Melchor. How's it going, bud?
Hello.
Congratulations.
How you doing?
Doing great. Barrett is our driving correspondent. You can see me pointing at his face right now because he is driving. Rob is MIA. We think he's powdering his nose, getting ready to come on because he wants to look good for all you people. So we're going to add him to the call when he comes on. He has a little special diatribe about diversity he wants to go over.
Oh boy.
He said 5 to 10 minutes. That's all he asked. He's like, can I take 5 to 10 minutes to talk about diversity? I'm like, you do you, boo. It's also your show. You may do whatever you want.
It's his platform. You got to give him a platform.
I have to give him a platform. You know, everyone's got one. You know, so like I said, Iari won the Cameron Park PTC with Akuma 2 off of Evil. So if you wanted to start us off, go right into it. Just talk about how your day, you know, how the event was run. You know, and we can just talk about your deck and all that stuff. So I have your deck pulled up anyway. So if we want, when we start talking about the deck, let me know. I'll add it to the screen and post, and then people can see what cards we're talking about. So
right. First off, shouts out to Room to Game in Cameron Park PTC. They are a new-ish company, and Charles, who's the owner of that, he did a great job of hosting the event.
Okay.
We had 18 players show up. He had ordered about 5 pizza pies for everybody. You know, I mean, he sold it, of course. I mean, he has to make something, but it was $1.50 a slice.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's pretty good. You know what I mean? And so we had catered food, which was great, and it was smooth. It was really smooth. Fam did a great job of being judge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, California is a really chill meta anyway in terms of hey.
Hi, Rob.
Oh.
He made it.
Yeah,
Look, he looks good. His nose is all powdered and everything.
Yeah. He feathered his hair, too.
He did. Oh, God, that coif is amazing. I wish I could coif my hair like that. But go ahead, Iari. Go ahead and continue. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, not a thing. It was just really smooth. It was really smooth. We had someone there who's been playing for all of 2 weeks. And he actually made top 4, piloting a deck that J-Ray had listed. He played an Eda 9. You know, West. You know, from what I understand, with talking with people the last however many years I've been involved in UFS, West Coast is kind of like the mystery frontier. Like no one knows what the hell's going on out here. What's in the water?
Yeah.
You know, too much sunshine. You know, I don't know, but it was very chill. It was a great day. I mean, It was over 10 hours of gaming for me because I won it, so I had to play. Yeah. You know, I went 6-2 on the day, including Top Cut. So we played 8 rounds, and that's a beating. My body felt it, and I'm getting older, so I was a zombie on the way home and the next day.
So,
but it was great.
Rob, we're just going over the Cameron Park PTC right now, talking about Iari stuff, and then we're going to go into
starting right at 8 o'clock. Gotcha.
Yep. Wait, man, I told you. We're going to start at 8, and then we'll add you in as we go. Barrett's our traveling correspondent today, so, you know.
On location.
On location, going to Kansas. But
traveling to go see Iari right now.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to ride in that ride that can get there that fast. That's awesome.
Hey, man, DeLorean, 88 miles per hour. He just zips through time. He's good. He's good.
Seriously.
So, you had one Premier Store event with Lord Raptor 2 dot previous. Why'd you make the change to Akuma 2 dot?
That's a great question.
Other than the fact that he's inherently broken and just amazing and just retardedly good.
Okay, well,
your answer.
That's an acceptable answer, actually. Yeah. I think so. My philosophy is any time that you're going to go to an event larger than a locals event, you really it's about setting your intention and what is it that you want to do.
Sure.
You know, everyone says they want to win. And I believe that, but I think what's unspoken is a lot of people they add on, well, I want to win my way, you know, and I know this sounds incredibly spiky, but I'm not usually a spike player, but I wanted to win the event. Sure. So and Akuma, the way that he plays it reminds me a little bit of Turbo Man. You know, you build. I mean, Turbo Man, you didn't. I mean, you could actually go in at one point on turn 1 and build as you went. But usually it's just, hey, do I have orange? Can I count to a certain number? Do I think they can stop me? No? Okay, let's go. And I like that. I like that play style. I like to play very aggressively. I like aggressive swings. And the cool thing with Akuma is that he protects his own kill turn very well. And he's got enough what I call cheeky defense to, if you can't establish, KO, in the first 2 or 3 turns, he can actually survive, to or turn 5. And it actually gets worse for the opponent, the longer it goes. So that's why I played Akuma. I really liked his attack suite, and I liked the philosophy of just like, hey, let's go in.
So, Rob, do you have anything you'd like to ask or chime in with, since you were kind of new to the call?
Well, I don't really know what we've talked about. So.
Oh, we just jumped right into the Cameron Park stuff. So I did the intro and we jumped right in.
Your own intro. That's all you missed.
Yeah, you missed your intro. I did it first.
So I missed the most important part of the show.
Well, I guess. Sure.
But you're here, so we're good.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess obviously the most important question is, are you getting that backpack?
Yes, he is a Legendary Wolf sponsored gamer, kids. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. I said, well, you were sponsored, right? And he said that he was, but he hadn't signed anything yet, so he was technically unaffiliated for the PTC.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was like, oh well, might need to negotiate a little bit on that one.
Yeah, you may.
I might. And it's funny because I got an email from Legendary Wolf Games saying that sometime this week they're going to be sending out the official contracts, and they're going to give a couple days for there to be some negotiation, some back and forth, so that I think they're going out of their way to really try to tailor the contracts individually, whoever they chose to sponsor.
Cool.
So it makes sense for them. So I haven't seen it. This is my first time being sponsored for anything like this, so, but, I'm friends with Miles and I'm friends with Danny, and I love them as people. I respect them. So, I know they're going to try and take care of me. So I guess I could ask about Back Bay. I am going to give
I also received the same email.
Okay, well, see, there you go. Yeah. So, it's cool.
So,
I don't know.
So getting into the deck a bit, one thing I do like about Akuma, and like you said, like if the game does go long, he puts kind of the fear of God into your opponent, because the more enlightened by defeats you get on board, the more your opponent knows they're going to die. Because that card
is that the one diff?
It's the one diff, yes.
That card, I don't have no idea why that card says and.
Yeah, that card is like, hi, Cassie Cage, I see you won nationals, I'll do you one better.
It's in a combat, because Liu Kang had it too, but on a one diff.
Yeah, and it's on either, and it doesn't have to say, and it doesn't have the caveat of being on your turn either.
Well, no, but the other thing too is that you have a lot more control over it.
Yes,
it's you can just cram you can cram it with face downs, and if your opponent's just like, well, I'm not going to block, then it's not your opponent's card pool.
Yeah, for sure. No, I love that card in him. Obviously, that and emission fees that just couples with him. I like World Without Battle on him too, because if you are in desperation and you are on defense and you do need card draw, you can flip it to draw a card. That's usually I've used that before, and plus everything has a keyword ability nowadays, so it's either plus speed or minus speed. That card's great.
It helps that every one of his attacks is powerful. So
yes, but I'm also saying on defense it works very well too. It's just Feifei on steroids, because it can give you. Yeah, it's just it's not on a one diff, but it's definitely it has a little more uses than just flip for -3 speed. But
it's got a block and it's low zoned, as a block.
Mm-hmm.
It's irrelevant.
Now, would you have bumped the number of Sekia up? Or was one enough?
One was enough. I cited in Sekia all of one time, and that was my round 4 match against Elena, which was also a Graven's Castle Woodman's Leaf Shield type deck.
Sure.
Because in play testing, there's going to come a point where they're not always going to call Graven's Castle Ruins as their first turn or their first enhance.
Mm-hmm.
And Preston had missed that before in testing against that deck. And so what I found was being able to put a Sikia into my card pool, and if I have admissions fee out, basically locks them out of any chance of trying to kill me for that turn.
Sure.
You know? And if, you know, obviously being able to stuff a face-up card in your card pool, I mean, if you absolutely had to, like, they're just going all in and you got no cards and they're not going to enhance, like, printed damage will kill you. You have the chance of hacking that check, right? So, but no, I think one of is fine.
Okay.
In Kuma.
Yeah, because I thought about adding a second one to the deck, but I don't think it doesn't. I think the side the second one's just fine, personally.
Yep. It's literally there for the Graven's Castle matchup. That's what it's there for.
Sure.
And it's so funny. For me, I'm the kind of player that I really try to run my deck tight to 59 or 60 plus starter character. And I experimented with this deck a lot. I went as high as like 66 with 19 and 20 attacks. Yeah, and for me, what I always hate, what I hate the most as a player, this is just my own personal tendencies, is if I get beat, knowing that I had the card in my deck, but I didn't see it because my deck was too fat.
Sure.
I hate that.
Sure.
And I don't think it always comes down to a ratio thing. I think sometimes you just kind of dilute some of the consistency with the numbers you put in the deck. So that's my own personal philosophy. So I try to run really tight just so I always have the best chance of seeing whatever card that I think promotes my game plan. But yeah, one Seki on the side is plenty, and you don't even need it. It's just that I knew that there was going to be at least one Graven's Castle deck there.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like knowing your local meta or like the meta you're going into. If you know, like going into Chicago this coming weekend, I know there's going to be Goros there because we have tons. We have like 3 or 4 local Goro players and low hand size characters. So it's just like you better bring your damage or you're going to die. Stuff like that. It's all depending on local meta, you know. So I know that. I added in. I have my list isn't as tight as yours. I run mine like at 64 ish with 20 attacks, and I envy you at running 18 because I hate running over 18 attacks just because of I just like playing mid game. But you run your decks tight. My decks are always. Rob knows this. I don't like to kill people.
Chris likes running decks that
don't kill people.
Don't kill anybody because they're running a bunch of utility attacks.
Yeah, because I love utility
attacks. You can only draw 2 of them at once.
Yes, because I love utility. I love options. So, but...
Well, it's like killing
commitment issues. So you don't want to drop... You don't want to drop your favorite like techie cards that you put in.
Yeah, commitment issues. Yeah, I guess so.
So, Chris, have you finally cut that like 3-cost Takuma Foundation yet?
I didn't even add it.
Okay. I thought you had it in some early builds.
No, I cut it. No, I didn't even add it. No, we're good. We're talking about Iari's deck, though, not mine. So
I know.
I'm just making comparisons.
I noticed that he was not running... I don't think you had any 3 costs, right? I saw that you said you should have had the Beauty.
Yeah. That needs to be at least one of in the main.
Okay.
Until Soul Calibur comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, yes. Well, that's true. So I had it. I brought it with me as a potential last minute, audible. And I decided, well, I'll just keep it in the side. And there were 2. I didn't need it, but there were more than a few times where I would say there were 3 or 4 hands that I played where it was kind of like my opponent overextended, and all I needed was to have 3 attacks in hand.
Oh, okay.
And I just drew gray, And so I'm going, you know what? And I had a momentum. If I had I could change that. That totally changes everything if you can draw at least 3. I mean, that's the magic number, right? 3 or 4 attacks with a Kuma and you win.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and I've noticed in some of your streams that sometimes you'll whiff on drawing. So I'm going, well, it could be a thing. And so it turned out to be somewhat of a thing. Luckily, I was able to kind of duck, dodge, dive, dip, dodge enough to get to my turn, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that card's really good. I really like that card in an evil deck right now until the next set.
Now, I guess like the other thing I'd ask you is, how did you find the Gyroman attacks? Because one of the biggest debates that I've seen, especially regarding like evil Akuma, is pretty much like gyro attack versus coffee samba versus sadistic ways. And
I tried them both. I tried all of those attacks in him. And one in him, I felt like coffee samba really it's more of a high risk, high reward play. And I felt like the couple times that I had it, being able to draw 2 extra cards was nice. Being able to essentially stun 5 because you're going to Akuma it. So, you know, most times people will have 4 cards in hand when you call the stun. It happened not as frequently. I checked that card more than I drew it. And so for me, and the first turn built for Akuma is looking for it.
Yeah, very true.
So,
because I've always gone with the Gyroman attacks just because they synergize. Like sadistic ways and coffee do synergize pretty well with him, but I just found that the gyro attack, the 2 Gyroman attacks work just better in my opinion. But that also could be because just play style in a way. Because I don't like to kill people. So,
well, it also wasn't my game plan to try to get into desperation, which I think where those 2 attacks really shine is being able to cut yourself down to less than 13 vitality.
Yeah,
and then you just have a huge explosive play. You know.
Yeah.
I would rather just have a huge explosive play without needing to be in desperation, you know, getting closer to getting knocked out myself.
Sure.
So, and you're right, they do the same thing. But I felt like in this deck, just not having a 2, or minimizing the lower checks was very important for the consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I know that I agree with you on Coffee Samba. I haven't actually played Akuma, so I'm not totally sure, but I feel like he probably doesn't get a lot of momentum. Like, I would think he wouldn't get more than maybe like 1 or 2, just because the whole point is if they try to block something, you flip a previous attack.
Yeah.
And once you flip it, you're not getting momentum. So, like, I would really think the only momentum you get is basically, like, the last attack in a turn that hits. So, like, the multiple on coffee, I mean, that thing is, like, having stun 4 or 5, like, that's really good. But if that's really, you know, if all it's really going to get you is, like, multiple 1 because you only have, like, 1 momentum, you might as well just run, like, the gyro attack because it's multiple 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you don't need any momentum for it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, and yeah, like you said, it's got the 3 check.
And I think that's the perk of the sadistic ways, because the coolest thing about the sadistic ways is that not only does it have the multiple on it, but that's not the point of the card. The point of the card is that you can shove these 2 cards in your hand that aren't doing anything right now into momentum, and again, every single attack in Akuma has powerful on it, and so all of a sudden you can turn any attack that comes after it into a lethal attack. And I think that's why Sadistic Ways is a little better of a card in him compared to Copy Samba.
Sure.
Because it just has the duality for the 2 check.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing is you could take 2, like, foundations in your hand, turn them into 2 momentum, and then if you have, like, a Sekia or something, it's powerful 5?
Yeah.
So that's basically 2 multiple copies if you can get it to stick. Like, so.
One thing I wanted to ask you is, no Undying Rage in the deck, because you can pick up all of Akuma's attacks with it. That was one question, because I've added that to my deck, and I've noticed that's kind of helped me out with attacking a bit. If I check an attack, I can always pick it up, and then I can either use it for a block if I do it on defense, or I have it for offense. So that's the 1/3 diff I did add to my deck was Undying Rage, because that's kind of helped me consistent draw attacks, I guess.
I didn't see it. I mean, I just didn't. I'm one of those. I try not to like build on UFS Ultra.
Sure.
I find that then I'm trying to whittle down from like 150 plus cards, and that's really overwhelming for me.
Yeah, gotcha. Gotcha.
And because I'll start with a theme in my head, and then I'm going, this card looks good. Oh, this card looks good. I can find space for that.
Oh yeah.
And then by the time I do that, I'm going, I have no idea what I should take out anymore.
Because they're all good. That's the thing. They're all good. All the cards.
I think that's gotten a lot harder.
Yeah, it has. It has.
Bro,
like I've noticed.
I just didn't see the card.
Like I've noticed some times where I'm building a deck and what used to be an instant 4 of, like Drained by the Kiss. My first build had 4 of it in there, and then now I have like 2. And like you said, I may whittle that down to 1 because I really don't need to flip my own attacks. It's more going to be for my opponent's attacks that I'm going to need to flip. You know. So it's just, I think like there's cards, of course, that you know, like Revoke, Fade. Let's just say Akuma, for instance, Kangu, Dahatsu, Shoten. Those cards are going to be instant 4-ofs. It's mostly the foundations that you're gonna struggle on cutting most of the time, in my opinion. But that's just me.
I think a lot of that is just balancing your game plan versus like staying alive long enough to execute it.
Sure, true.
Like I know that's my like a lot of my sort of conflict with deck building right now is how much space to basically devote to like the offense versus like what do I need to include to sort of like stay alive, and am I including too much of that basically? You know, like I mean, you want to have defense, but I don't like if all you're doing is like basically if you include too much, you're undermining your offensive game plan, and if you like completely neglect it, then you know you're going to get killed by stuff. Like obviously, you're always going to die to like some of these like nut draws.
Yeah.
But you know, you don't want to necessarily die to like obviously like an average draw.
Yeah.
But
true.
You know, so yeah, it's definitely sort of a tightrope.
And that's where I think Iari really had a good balance of that is because I'm not looking at the deck, but like you did still choose to include the fades and the revokes, and having cards like that, like Fade, although it can be an aggressive card in him, you said earlier that you did not structure your deck to be around going to Desperation, and so it was not meant to be an offensive enabler. It was meant to put an incredibly strong defensive piece into your deck so that you can have that strong that kind of defense power in there. And putting in a blue card that does that is committing to that defensive play, because that card can never be an attack and it can never be a foundation. And so you choosing that over that, I think you had that balance. But yeah, when you were saying that you weren't committing to the desperation plays, even within his own attacks, it means that it means you also weren't using it. I'm sure at some points you could. Whenever you hit a desperation, it was an offensive enabler, but that's not why you put it in the deck.
Yeah, I played the Desperation Eon Fade twice in throughout the entire match, and it was useful both times. And the reason why, well, what's a better way to say this? I don't have Ophidiophobia in my deck, so I'm completely relying upon my ability to hack their check, return cards to their hand, make them pay a cost for being able to play attacks and blocking. You know, and I think that's why I prioritized Dohatsu. Is that the name of the card?
Yeah,
Shotan, right? That's a 4-of for sure, because I mean I'm expecting that at some point in the game, if it goes long enough, I will have to win in desperation. But that's never the goal. I don't want to rely on that.
I've played Dahatsu so many times and just been like 5 and then made the check and I'm like, crap, I checked a 3 and I'm like, oh wait, it has desperation on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That card is, your opponent has to respect that card if you get into desperation, because that card's a beating. That card is just insane.
It's also the bigger enabler for Akuma to do Akuma things.
Yes.
Very
true. Very true. Because it nets itself a face down, for sure. Yeah.
It does.
I've been able to kill people without having admission fees with that card because of its ability on its own. So, yeah.
Yep.
But sorry for interrupting. So, go ahead.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Actually, the strength of Fade, well, you know what? I don't, you have people who like, top 8, I played against the retail deck. And, I met, so he So we actually implemented. I can talk. We implemented the new rules where in top cuts the higher seed goes first game one, which is really great.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, really cool stuff. So I went second because I was lower seeded than the Huitzel. And then he took game one. I took game two on turn two. And then game three, I was essentially, I guess, what the kids call mana screwed. I built two going second against Huitzel. But I had two fades in hand. And so for his turn two and his turn three, because I drew another fade, I played three fades and survived and killed him on my turn three.
Yeah.
So power of that card and how it synergizes with Akuma is absolutely nuts.
Yes.
It's really stupid. I don't know if that's can you call it a happy design accident?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of a happy coincidence that you have this confluence of design, and they just all meet, and Akuma makes the best use of it, and it's a beating. Yeah. Like my friend Nick was really bummed out. He played lights out, but I mean, against something like that and your forehand sizer, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's just rough. Go ahead, Barrett.
I don't think there's anybody in this call that would disagree with the statement that Fade was made for this character, and Akuma 2 plays Fade the best. It may be Melina's card, and the effects on the card synergize with Melina, but Akuma, from one of the abilities on that card, he gets to essentially use it twice, just purely from the fact that he gets to abuse an action card that sticks into his card pool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much it. And at that point, it has a good block on it, which makes it a good card already. It has a Desperation 0 value, and it has a Desperation Enhanced that makes it more offensive, so that you can kill them when you're at Desperation, which is the point of the keyword.
Yes.
All for a 3/4, which is very fair. And I think Akuma in Akuma, it should probably be a 3/3. But that's not who it was made for. I would kind of agree with the happy accident that he just gets to play it the best.
I mean, it also has a +0 high block.
Yes.
That's what I was saying. It's a pretty high block.
He said it's a pretty good high block, or he said it's a pretty good block on +0. Yeah. It's about as good as it gets.
Yeah. It's an ultra rare. It's an ultra rare for a reason. That card. I think Vega may play it not as good as Akuma, but Vega plays it very good too.
Is that when it came out, it was the only person that realistically seemed to want to run it would maybe be Vega, and it's the same type of reason. It's they can play something, you can hack the check, they force it through, and you make them do it again. And Akuma's sort of the same way, except it's all, especially if your opponent is trying to kill you and they start off with some attack they really want to play, and they check a 3 and they commit 2 to pass it, and you just go, fade it.
My eyes get so big when that happens. I'm like, oh boy, you're gonna pay for it now. Yeah, my eyes get big, dude.
That's the other thing too. If in Vega, when you play Fade, if they choose to let it fail, you succeeded in making them discard an attack card. But that's it. And now you have +1 progressive for your blocks if you're the Vega player. In Akuma, if they fail, you not only succeeded in making them discard an attack, but you might make them discard another one. So
that's true.
You can just flip it over.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, having access to that card means Akuma can almost never get reversaled. Oh. And even if he does get reversaled, you then flip the fade over, and your attacks ignore that progressive anyway. Yeah. So it's just it's just one of these parts of we were talking about it before the show. It's not that I think Akuma is not unbeatable by far. I mean, you went what in rounds? You went
3-2 in Swiss.
You went 3-2 in Swiss, and so you were on the bottom half of the tops, and decks that beat you were the other decks that were also in tops. But at the same time, it's not that he's unbeatable. It's just that you have this oppressive nature, and he really owns under the evil symbol, I'm going to hack your checks, and that's what I do. And Fade just encourages that in him. And that's pretty much it.
Yep.
Yeah. No, but you make a good point, and I'll restate it. I don't think Akuma by any means is unbeatable, but he's definitely a strong contender. Yeah. I mean, the two rounds that I lost to an Earth Goro in round 3, and I just couldn't do anything. I mean, sure, my deck was running a little cold, but it doesn't matter. Goro has just as strong of a grindy type of pressure that he puts on you. and that
I feel like Shokan Prince has to be brutal against Akuma.
It's brutal against everybody. You know?
Well, right, but I mean, you're mostly playing stuff on almost like 6s anyway, and then when all of a sudden those are like 7s or 8s, like
Well, I'll tell you what. I couldn't mount a decent enough attack string to even try, and by the time that I drew a hand, and part of it is because I absolutely had to use those attacks to block with.
Mm-hmm.
That's something else. I mean, if you have a hand of attacks, but it's not your turn, right? And or if you only have 1 or 2 attacks, right, and you're hoping to draw up again, but you have to sacrifice 1 or the second attack that you're holding. Man, you're hoping to draw 3, but you may not always draw 3. You may only have 2, and you can't go in with Akuma on 2.
No,
you need at least 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Elena.
About that matchup.
I'm sorry.
And the other thing about that matchup too is that we were just talking about Fade, and Fade and Goro doesn't do a lot because Fade says his face downs count as 2, and so him building these foundations dramatically and passing these checks means Fades have less than an impact, and the Akuma response have less of an impact because his foundations count as 2. So I totally understand how you feel like you have to do this kind of thing. You just have to.
And then round 4 against Elena, who I hear is still surprisingly good from a lot of people, but we've been dealing with Elena since she's been out, so we're not as surprised. But she's really good, and so I got blown up 2 straight games in round 4. There was nothing I could do. Yeah. So the fact that I have to face it again in final in championship round, I mean, it's a little bit ironic and poetic all mixed together, but it could have gone either way.
Sure.
I mean, Akuma's 50-50 against that deck. So. Yeah, but Akuma's super strong. He's a contender for sure.
All right, so let's go into I'm gonna say congratulations again because this is awesome. You took you were off for about 2 years after Worlds 2017. You came back. You won a Premier Store event, and then you put the hammer down, made sure all the younglings were beaten down like Anakin Skywalker with the lightsaber. That's a reference to episode 3. Everybody, just to let you know. You took I see Iari walking in. It's like
nobody got it.
No one got it, but it was hilarious. Here we go. At least someone got it. Someone will get it out there. I know someone will. But yeah. But anywho, so we had some predictions for the California PTC. So I'm gonna say, Barrett, you got the attendance correct at 18. So congratulations there.
Snaking me.
He snaked you. Yep. I had the winner for Akuma. I picked Akuma and a Lord Raptor. We had to pick 2. We had picked 3 of top 8: Akuma, Goro, and Cassie. So those were 3 of the top 8. And then me and Rob tied for diversity at 2. And so in the tiebreaker, it goes to someone who actually won something, and I won 1 round, so I won the overall event. Yeah, look at that. Go me.
You won 2 things, so.
I know. Well, we tied 1. So we tied 1, and I won 1.
Tied for first.
But I won, though, because I had an actual win. You tie with me. I'm 0-1. I'm 1-0-1. You're 0-0-1. And so I have a better record. We're doing hockey points, kid. Hockey points. So.
Were there some decks that you guys... Now, this is, me as a West Coast player talking to people who are in Midwest and East Coast. Were there some decks that you were kind of expecting that didn't show up?
Yeah,
I know actually it was Lord. Yeah, I was surprised. I mean,
Lord Raptor for me.
Was dedicated to combating Lord Raptor. Who didn't make an appearance.
Yeah, so I saw that one card. What was it the Flash loses Flash? There was one on the side, and I was like, I don't know what this is for, other than Raptor. Yeah, actually, I was going to say that probably the next thing to talk about. I would say, both of the people that I picked to potentially win didn't show up. I picked Jet and Ken.
Yeah.
Really, I think a lot of the Street Fighter versus Darkstalkers. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly who what came and what didn't. I know there were Guiles. I know there was Elena, 2
Donovans, a Lilith, Elena, Hisenko.
Okay, there was a Lilith. All right.
But Hisenko was the big surprise for me. I was honestly surprised Hisenko showed up. I didn't think that character even really.
Not seeing any copies of Raptor, Ken, or Jetta.
Yeah.
Those are definitely seem to be characters that at least various areas have at least one version of it that they're like, dude, this deck is like messed up. And even if it's not something they're like, it wins all the time, it's something where they go, when it goes off, it goes off.
Right.
And like, those are the types of decks that people will show up to, like, for PTCs, especially like early on, you know, because it's like a new build, like you don't know what the meta is. So you can sort of like take chances with stuff that is like a little unpredictable.
Sure.
Did we lose Barrett, or is he sleeping, or
did we lose you, Barrett? We might have lost him, so
we might have, because he said his battery.
Yeah, his battery or his data may be going out, so we might have lost him. So,
but you see his face on the screen.
Yeah, his face is still on the screen. He looks really mad.
He looks like he's napping, right?
Yeah, he looks kind of mad.
He looks like he just fell asleep
while driving. That's pretty rough.
Well, maybe he pulled in. He's always like, I got to rest.
I got to rest.
I'm done with the
conversation. Yeah. We'll add him back if he comes back. So he'll probably shoot me a message. So
but yeah, I would say like those three, you know, I would have expected at least some of them to show up. Sort of as a whole, I know, like, talking in Discord, people are like, where's Jackie?
Yeah.
I almost ran her.
Yeah.
I almost ran her. You know what? It's one of those things where, see, no one, at least in California, very few people remembered that, you know, Street Fighters versus Darkstalkers was actually played last year at Reno.
Yeah.
So, for all intents and purposes, I think people are still having fun with their new toys.
Sure.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but you're right. The absence of Lord Raptor, the absence of Ken. Actually, Ken is, to me, I have yet to see a really, truly fantastic Ken build. So,
I would agree. But at the same time, like, that's sort of the thing, is that it's like, I don't know. I guess people are just so excited about, like, I can draw so many cards and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, you know.
He's really swingy. I think that's the thing.
Oh, he's certifiable glass cannon for sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
And but that's just it. I mean, even he's kind of like a crapshoot glass cannon, because you have little control over if he goes off.
Yeah,
you know,
very true.
Whereas their glass cannons, they have a little bit more control over that.
Mm-hmm.
But I have seen some ridiculous numbers with Violent Ken, you know. But But I think at this, I think because this is the first PTC that the West Coast, and when I say West Coast, I'm talking about areas west of Las Vegas.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, we haven't had a PTC
because Vegas is considered mountain.
Did you
at all?
I was gonna say, you didn't even have one last year, right?
Nope.
So, so big thanks to Jasco, I guess, for making up for that by giving us 3 this year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Very.
So, but I think people took it serious. Barrett Bryant joined.
Yeah, he's back.
He's back. Sweet.
Yay. Sound right.
Maybe. There you go.
There you go.
Hey, welcome back.
Cool. Sorry to mess up your editing later, Chris.
Oh, you're all right. I'll just let it go. I don't care. Yeah, so that's kind of neat because I remember I had when I was in Omaha for the store opening, we did a one-on-one versus series, like the beginning of the versus series, and you were talking about how like the California meta is a faster meta to begin with. It just always historically has been. So that's why I'm not surprised there's the Goros and stuff like that, but not seeing Jackie was kind of surprising because she is one of those, well, I'm just going to kill you, over and over again. So, yeah.
Was there a Vega?
No.
Okay.
No Vega.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised by that. And yeah, like I said, I mean, Jet. Jet's an interesting one. I think Jet is good enough to win any event that he enters. But he's also one of the weirder decks, I think. Like, I think he requires you to play a lot more, just because the fact that he's for a lot of his strong effects, he has to remove attacks.
Mm-hmm.
If you just are using that all the time and come up short, you're gonna lose because you're gonna be out of attacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So he's sort of like a weird character.
Sure.
Who's very, very strong, has had great showings, but I think I'm not terribly surprised that he didn't show up, because I know I like him, but I haven't necessarily had a personal build that I was like, this is a great deck.
Yeah.
So I think he's harder to build than some of the other stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I mean, I guess you can't pick like 10 characters. Why wasn't this character there?
Yeah,
well, there's only
true,
so many slots.
Okay.
Yeah, only so many people showed up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so.
All right. So, are we?
How about you? Was there anything that you were surprised not to see? Like, other than the like Street Fighter vs. Darkstalker stuff, or?
Go ahead, Iari.
Chris, or...
No, Iari.
Oh,
he doesn't care about me.
Yeah, I talk to him all the time.
Yeah, he does.
Yes and no. I was surprised to not see, as I said, Lord Raptor. I thought was going to be there. Mm-hmm. I wasn't surprised that Guile showed up. I was surprised there was not another Akuma player who played.
Yeah.
And actually one of the Sacramento players, he messaged me the day before and said, "Hey, I'm thinking of running Akuma or Guile. What do you think?" And I said, "Well, I'm definitely running Akuma. So if you want that diversity battle, let's go."
He showed that respect is what he did. He showed that respect.
Now, is this the Guile that made it or the Guile that got diversified?
The Guile that got diversified.
Oh, no. That's a beating.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Gabe's a good player, too. Gabe, his name's Gabriel, and he's also sponsored Legendary Wolf Games.
Oh, cool.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a good player. And,
Ending.
Yeah, so I was surprised there wasn't I was expecting at least 2 other Akumas.
Sure.
You know, and who else? I'm surprised there wasn't Jackie Briggs. I'm surprised no one showed up with a Spike 2.
Spike 2 is weird. I think people are still really, really scared of hand cannon.
Yeah.
And the thing is realistically at this point, like, the only decks that I would like expect to see running hand cannon are Jackie and potentially maybe like a Faye or something.
Sure.
I don't really think that like the sort of like life, like I don't think that there are attack lineups that are so good on life that you can just throw in like
hand cannon,
insect puppeteer cannon them. I mean, I guess Anacharis, but
Devora could probably do it too.
Nobody wants to play that.
Yeah.
And it's just, I guess it's sort of what they want is that it's, you know, has sort of had the desired effect of like reducing sort of like the Spike to like appearance.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's going to be too much longer before people are going to say, you know what, like I'm just going to chance it.
Yeah.
Or they're going to have like, you know, a backup plan to just say, okay, well, if they block with hand cannon, like I got to do this or that, or you know, something else.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I think he's too good that one card like isn't going to keep him locked away forever. So
nope. And we're getting to that point, especially with Soul Calibur 6 coming out. If the characters in this set follow the same design philosophy as the last 2 now? No, 3, right? Bebop, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter versus Darkstalkers, then we're going to have a ton of characters that are going to be on par with each other that you have to game plan for, you know. So, and hand cannon may or may not be as relevant at that point, you know. So it might be relegated to a sideboard card.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? I mean, I really don't think that there are that many characters that
can run it efficiently.
Run it both ways, yeah.
Sure.
And if you're just sort of dedicating an attack slot to sort of like a tech card. Yeah.
Well, the Spike 1 player there, his name's Robbie. His Spike 1 water deck, he showed me why you run that card.
Oh,
and it was crazy, yeah, because I played him with an earlier version of a 2 weeks prior at one of their store events, and he just rinsed me on turn 2. He rushed me down. Basically, he would play, he would play hand cannon, and then he'd commit specialized ammunition, and then he'd ready specialized ammunition, and then he keeps playing specialized ammunition to reduce his next range attack by 3 difficulty. And so then he's ending it with like a ton of spinning birds and stuff like that, and you're just going, "Oh, okay."
Oh, that's pretty neat. Yeah, that's cool.
Because I've always wanted to use specialized ammunition, but I'm going, well, how do I do this? Like, really do this? And I'm going, oh, that's how. Okay, cool.
Okay, so update on Barrett. He's gonna stay out of the call. His phone keeps overheating and shutting off on him. So he's gonna tell me all of his Chicago predictions. Now? Okay, there you go. He just sent them to me. So we have his predictions. So it's probably a good time to I know Iari is on a limited time frame, so we're going to walk into the Chicago predictions. So we got attendance, we have who's going to win, and how many diversity battles there are going to be. So, Iari, you're our guest, so attendance number, what are you going to say? This is all for posterity. There's no real prize on the line. So
No, I got you. It's almost like, hey, here's the
pride.
How many Hershey Kisses are in this can?
There you go. It's one of those things.
Well, let's see. Chicago. Can I ask a question before I make that?
Yeah, go ahead.
How big is our own player base? I'm not familiar. I've been out of
I would
10
say
to 12?
12. I'd say 12 to, well, if you don't include Rockford in this, so it's probably about 10 to 12 for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they're going to hit the... You want just a single number, not a range, correct?
Yeah, a number, please.
I'm going to say they're going to hit... I'm going to say 32.
Nice.
I'm going to say 32.
Barrett's going with 28.
Yeah.
Robert?
I'll go 34.
Oh, wow.
This is like The Price is Right.
Yeah.
I'm going 39.
Okay.
Yeah. There's like
yeah.
Okay,
Chris
so
is
there's
terrible at The Price is Right because he goes last, and the highest was 34. And instead of picking 35, he says 39.
No, because I think
he also has inside information.
I do have inside information, so it's fine. There's I think there's at least 13 or 15 people coming from Omaha, so it's going to be a high number. I think, and that doesn't even include the East Coasters that are coming in, because I don't even know if Rob's showing up yet or not and staying at my house because Thomas needs a place to stay, and I'm like, if Rob's coming, you can't, and if Rob isn't coming, then you
can't. Put him in the garage, dude.
That's where my smoker is. I don't need him eating smoked meats. Okay, I don't need that.
He lost joining again, and he's
I'm
back.
gonna try one more time.
Oh, you're back. Yes, you're back. Okay, so we just did the attendance numbers. So you're in for 28. So, Iari, who's going to win? We picked two characters. Who's going to win it?
Who's going to win? We picked two characters?
Two characters.
He's already locked up.
Yeah, he's already locked up, the poor guy. Oh, man. He can't do it.
That's too good.
Poor guy.
I think...
Our correspondent has left for the evening.
I know. I think it's going to. Oh man, I'm trying to think of what's being played outside of my meta.
Everything.
I think a good possibility. Do I have to give a symbol too?
Nope, just character. Just character.
I think the Goro can take it.
Okay.
There's apparently going to be 1,000 of them.
There's 100 of them.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Well, there will only be one in top 8.
Yeah.
So. All of that becomes moot after a certain round.
So I'll let you. I'll let you think about your second character. Rob.
I'm gonna roll with Akuma.
Oh, are you? Oh, wow. Okay.
I think Akuma can take it down.
Snap decision. Akuma 2, I take it, right?
Yeah.
I have to make sure. Yeah. So, Robert, you. Whatever you're coming with is probably gonna, Anacharis.
Whatever I'm coming with is not gonna win.
Yeah.
So.
Well, unless you play Anacharis, because there's a chance, because no one knows how to play against that here.
That is true.
It's tempting, but no.
Yeah, you don't want to spend.
Actually, I don't actually know what I'm playing.
Okay, so you are coming then.
Maybe.
Oh, damn it!
Is that Rob guy gonna show up with that mummy character again?
Yeah, it's like on the Guile treatment. I don't know if Rob's gonna show up or not, and then he shows up. That's what he does. That's all.
I'll say Jackie.
Ooh. Did Jaquee?
She has to show up at this.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. Shit.
He's got one more though, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, go ahead. We'll figure it out.
I'm gonna bet on myself and go Chun-Li. I'm gonna go Chun-Li.
Hey.
What a monster. You're not gonna win.
I know, but I'm betting on myself. I got to.
Chris is like, there's gotta be someone better than me that's going with Chun-Li.
Nah. Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
What are Barrett's?
Barrett just says Akuma 2 right now, so.
That's it?
Yeah, just Akuma. Yeah.
Alright, what else you got, Chris?
I
had mine and then I lost it.
I'm actually gonna go with Elena because I know certain someone who's playing Elena, and I don't know if he's gonna play it here, but if he does, it's probably gonna do really well. So it's Jeremy Ray. So I'm gonna say Elena. I'm gonna go with the ladies this time. So go with the ladies. So go ahead, Robert.
I'll take Vega because Phil Birch is playing him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably. Almost certainly. So.
Yeah, most likely. I don't see why not. That deck works so well for him, and yeah.
Nah, he's just gonna check a bunch of ones loose.
Yeah, eventually he has to check a bunch of ones one time. Hopefully it's against me because that'd be hilarious. So, so we're gonna go diversities. Barrett said 3 for diversity battles.
Oof, that's a lot. That's a lot for 30 people.
Well. He said,
really?
For him, that's... Well,
I'm saying, diversity's to make top 8?
Yeah.
I don't know. That feels like a lot.
Well, you gotta think. If we are saying Akuma, probably gonna have some. He knows there's 4 that are going for Akuma. So, I'm gonna assume Akuma's gonna be one of them. We know Goro's already gonna be one of them because we have a million Goro players here in Illinois.
He's still only gonna make top 8.
I know, but we're just saying. It's just, I'm
They're gonna scoop. They're gonna scoop. You know they
Integrity of results, sir.
They won't.
Iari, go ahead. Your diversity battles.
Not battles. Actual diversities.
Just the flat number of players that get diversified. Out of top.
Yeah.
Well, we had 3 in ours.
Yeah.
Right?
No, you had 2.
We had 2?
You had 2.
We had Guile. We had Goro.
Guile and Goro, yeah.
Okay.
You had multiple diversity battles, but only 2 people get diversified.
I'm gonna say 4.
4? Oh wow!
I mean, if you're expecting 36 or 39 people to show up, that doubles
true.
The odds.
Yeah, that also is true.
Play those numbers.
Yeah, there you go. Don't take me to Vegas. I'm bad. So
that's fine.
Rob,
I'll stick with 2.
2?
Okay.
I'm tempted to go 1, but. If there's that many of Goro, it's possible you could have 2 diversities on the same character.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save all these, and at the end of the PTC season, we'll see who the best procrastinator. I think that's what we say. I don't know. God, I can't.
I think it's procrastinator.
Procrastinator. Yeah. Prognosticator. Thank you, Iari. We'll see who the best is. I'll save them all, so we'll see who the best. So your slot, Iari, will be with Church. You guys will all be the guest slot.
Oh, it'll be the guest.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll see if the guests win, or see who can guess the best. So I'm also gonna go 2 because I gotta keep pace with Rob. So I'm playing numbers, man. I'm playing numbers. So
the other thing you have to consider is, I mean, obviously the group here in West Coast is relatively new, right? Sure. The player base here is relatively new, so they don't. Not everyone has access to all the older cards.
Very true.
A lot of them are very newer card centric. Are people going to be enamored with the new shiny stuff, like with Street Fighter versus Darkstalkers? Oh, I get to play this. I can play Kuma. I can play Ken. I can play all these characters I love playing in the video games. Again, and they don't suck now, right? Yeah. So, or are they going to go with the old,
tried and true?
What's true? Yeah. That's. It's hard to read the meta sometimes that way.
Well, which is kind of nice that we have multiple events a month now, because now we technically can say we have a meta to go off of. So, granted, we're still waiting on a set release, but right now we've had 2 events. We'll have a third. I'm not going to say we're going to have a 4th in the same meta. I think we'll have a set before the 4th event of the year. But
I really hope.
You think it's going to be out before Atlanta?
Let's see.
What?
So Atlanta's the second weekend, and it's March 9th. So we would have to have it pre-released by next. Oh no, we're not. No, we're not.
No.
It may pre-release
spoilers by now.
We may, right? Yeah. I actually think it may be pre-released by maybe the pre-release weekend, maybe. But I hope I want to say I want the set out before Atlanta, but. It's gonna be tough. Yeah. So okay. So I have all this down. Or written down. I'll save it, and we'll say next week. See who's gonna win. So yeah. Next, we're gonna go into a quick card of the week segment. Since Barrett is not here, I get to run it. Yeah. So we're gonna go over Demon Realm Awakening. Is the card that, since it's the Donovan action from Street Fighter vs. Darkstalkers, it is considered
back page action. You say
what?
Back page.
The back page action. Yes, it's technically a Donovan card, but I'll pull it up on the screen. You guys will see it. It's a 1/5 with a +1 mid block. I'm not pulling it up. I'm gonna go off of memory. It has like it has a block with it. Has an R block, remove, draw card. If it has a throw, if it's against a throw, it deals no damage. And then it has an E with a damage pump or a damage negation reduction. And then it also draws a card after you remove it. And then if your opponent's in deadlock, you get another copy of it. I've called it the poor man's prepared to fight in a way. It's just a poor man's prepared to fight in my eyes. But it's kind of better than prepared to fight in some instances because it's also offensively, you're able to use it offensively better than the prepared to fight's offensive enhance to stuff a card into the card pool in my eyes. I haven't had a chance to
I'd say it's just better Templar.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's a better Templar. Yeah.
I agree.
Until we get Reese 1 back into standard somehow. So
are you kidding me?
I hope so.
Inside news. This
is
he's coming.
Even with Reese, this is better than Templar.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Even with Reese, yes.
But here's the question: is it just Reese coming back, or are they gonna are they releasing like a tin or a turbo?
No, it's from what I've been told, it's demo decks of Kaden 1 and Reese 1, and Mega Man 1 and Proto Man 1 will be the new demo decks. Yeah.
Man, I need me some Gauntlet Flurry. I need me some Sovereign's Glory.
Ballista. We all want Ballista back in standard.
No Ballista.
Oh, no. I love that card. That card's so bad, it's great. I love it. I love that card.
It was a poor man's Sovereign's Glory.
Yes, it was.
Hey,
exactly.
I mean, Ballista is good, right? Could,
yes.
Takeda run it?
Takeda could run it, yes. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, so any thoughts on Demon Realm Awakening other than we all like it and it's better than Templar?
I really love it. In fact, I'm getting ready to build a deck and I'm going to have a 4 of in that.
Nice.
I think that's an action card you definitely want a 4 of, even if you're a low hand sizer, because it's just value. It replaces itself with another card.
Sure.
If you're at that place where you're they're at deadlock, I mean, you get to replace 2 cards. You get another copy of it, and you get to draw. So and you get to shut off. If you have it, you get to shut off throws.
Yeah.
Which is really important. That's something that Prepare to Fight can't do, because a lot of throws are mid.
Yeah.
So you can breaker 1 them, but you're not mitigating that damage. So sure. I think Demon Realm Awakening is incredibly good.
Rob?
I mean, I had like a deck where I ran like a copy or 2 of Jealousy and Fake. And so, yeah, this card's pretty insulting. I mean, Jealousy and Fake, could deal no damage if it was double damage.
Yeah.
Or you could play it, commit a foundation,
shuffle that
and draw a card and shuffle it back into your deck.
No, you shuffle it in first, then draw a card. So you could redraw it. You could draw it again. Yes, I've had that happen multiple times. I've done that a couple times. It's funny.
Yeah, it's kind of weird with how many really good action cards they're printing. It kind of gets strange because you get these cards where you're like, well, this card's really good. Of course you run it. And then you start looking at the other options and you're kind of just do I? Do I want this? Do I want that? I mean, if you're on Death or Order and you sit this down next to Prepare to Fight, which one do you run?
Yeah. Well,
I think it's going to basically come down to
money.
Your attack lineup. I think it's going to depend on how many multiples you expect as well. Non-Dark Kirito multiples you expect to see.
Yeah.
Whether you can get usage out of the enhance on Prepare to Fight.
Sure.
Or not.
Well, take a look at Death. You have Bang, you have Prepare to Fight, you have Demon Realm. You have, Showdown if you want to play Showdown. I know no one wants to play Showdown, but you still have the option to play Showdown if you wish. But there's just... It's kind of like how Water has the same problem, where there's so many actions you can run. It's hard to choose one now, other than I got to run Bang because I got to shut off characters. What's the other action I want to run? And that's kind of
even order.
Yeah,
you have
order,
like I mean, you have this. You have stop. You have prepare to fight. Yeah. I mean, and this is a card where I think if you're running 1, you're running 4.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, because you want that's the thing is you want that deadlock ability to be online if if you have it. And the thing is like this is like a pretty easy card to run just because it replaces itself. So it's not like you feel bad. Like if you have one in your hand and you're like, oh man, like it doesn't matter. You just enhance it away, draw a card. Mm-hmm. That's that.
Yep.
I mean, caught red-handed is gone. Venomous exists, but I have yet to really like see that make an impact at all.
Yeah.
Right.
I've actually cut it out of lists because there's like no one draws like a lot of cards now.
I mean, the thing is so like Venomous. I mean, you have stuff like Air Ground Smash.
Yeah.
Like the issue is like that was so useful for stuff like Shield Ram and all this other stuff. Like, there's so many things right now where like stopping someone from getting like one extra card, especially like a random card, like just doesn't matter that much.
Yeah. Right.
And yeah, it's just one of the, like, it doesn't have another option on it. Like, it's playable all committed, so that's cool. But
no block.
It's just kind of a weird
it has no
card.
block. Yeah. At least card red-handed just flipped and stayed committed. It didn't destroy itself or anything like that. So
yeah.
I also think, Rob, to piggyback off of your points about Demon Realm Awakening, I mean, there are so many attacks recently released that have so many keywords that it almost serves triple duty, right?
Yeah.
So there's more. It's you get more mileage.
Yeah. There you go. Part. Yeah. No.
Yeah. I mean, this is easy to get like 3 or 4 like +4, -4 like without much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. It's all in a way.
And the thing is too is this isn't even printed. So like if you have characters that like add keywords, then it pumps it more.
Well, in a way, this is almost like what people thought Gateway Shuffle was going to be. Like, oh my God, it's absurd strength.
Yeah.
It's like no, that card is not absurd strength apparently, but this one potentially could be.
Yeah.
With the right.
Yeah. Sure.
Better too because you get to draw as we're talking.
And it has a block. Okay, cool. So there we go. We did Church proud because Church wanted to do this card last week. We told him no. So, sorry, Church. We'll get you next time. We'll have you do your card next time. So we'll get Barrett's thoughts on the next episode, or I'll get a hold of him and I'll record a little snippet and add it to the end of or I'll put it out or whatever.
Yeah, you know what's interesting too? Just actually looking at this, is you can play that R and remove it from your card, like your card pool, even if it's not a throw.
Because it's R removed,
it doesn't say like
right?
after you block a throw attack. It just says after you block with this card. That's it. That's the only requirement to respond with that R.
Yeah.
And right, because it draws you a card too. But then like the whole thing, like if it was a throw attack, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, so like theoretically, I mean, you could like off symbol this too if you want to like if you're just gonna block with it early,
or
enhance with it early for that matter. So
all right, cool. So we're gonna announce so we're done with card of the week. We're gonna announce the winners of our 2018 cash grab power creep. Take our stuff home. So. The big winner for the Prepared to Fight was Cameron Undergust. I really liked your comment. I picked him anyways, Rob, because you weren't available, so I picked him without you. So
I wasn't available for this thing I wasn't informed about.
Yeah. But anywho, so for the admission fees, the handle was Raspberry Tortoise Jamboree. So go ahead and you can message me via, I think, on either Facebook or or just post on this video, and we'll figure out how to get the cards to you. I believe me and Rob both have an extra set combined, I believe, so we'll get you that.
That's a handle, by the way. Just wanted to interject.
That was, I liked his comment, but partially that name is why I picked it. That was pretty good. Josh Gardner in Arizona, you won the pre-Bebop staple set. So, Rob, if you want to bring those to Rockford or give them to Scott to bring them to Rockford, I can mail them out so you don't have to pay shipping or anything. And then for the foil promo characters, you're going to get like 20 or so foil promo characters from like the last year's prize support. McTrash McBoat, that is your handle if you want to contact me. via Facebook or on just comment below. I can try to get a hold of you and we can figure out something to get these cards to you. So those are the winners. Thanks for entering, everybody. Sorry if you didn't win. Maybe next year.
You should have had a better year. Obviously.
Should have a better year, obviously. Like Iari's probably already looking pretty good for this year. He won a PTC. Can't complain there.
I get the scrub deck at the next one because I won. I may try to play Fei Long.
Oh man, hey, he has all those Lilith attacks now. So
character loyalty. I'm just saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I know he's so bad.
I'm sorry.
I know.
So
I was talking Fam. I'm going Fam. I have the best Fei Long deck ever.
Yeah.
And it's still beating trying to play this deck against everything else. You literally feel like you have to put in at least 40% more work. It's bad.
Yeah. So I thought about playing Cammy at a local one day, and I'm just like, I don't want to die on turn 2 or 1. So that's that's like I really wanted to play her because she's like she's one of my favorite Street Fighter characters, and I'm just like, well, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So so anything to finish out the episode, guys? Anything you want to say? Any shout outs? You want to give a shout out to your
shout out to Legendary Wolfgang.
There you go.
I'm not officially affiliated, but I'll give a shout out to them anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you all for sponsoring me.
Yep.
Blah blah blah.
Oh no, it's all good. You can shout out whoever you feel like. It's fine. We're equal opportunity shout out channel, so we're good.
Hey, shout outs to you guys for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
You are.
Have me on again.
Thank you for subscribing via Patreon. That's how another thing. I appreciate that. To all my Patreon subscribers, we appreciate it.
Yes.
And then Jasco Games, thanks for supporting us because we appreciate the game and everything you do for us because we wouldn't be playing if we didn't like the game, I guess, But we wouldn't be doing content if we didn't like you guys. So
Right.
So, but anywho, hope to see a lot of people at the Chicago PTC this weekend. We have Omaha coming in, UFSU and Rob and Scott / Thomas may be staying with me this weekend, so we're gonna have a full house, and it's gonna be adventurous as always. So and Kim,
it's gonna be streamed, right?
What?
It's gonna be streamed.
Yes, I'm going in Thursday to play at their local and do a test stream just to make sure the stream quality is good because. If it's not, I may just record and then upload right away, but I may just stream it and it just may end up being bad anyways, just to get a stream, because not having your guys' PTC streamed was a travesty. I'm going to say that right now. So, it's sad.
Well, you know what? I agree, but I'll still give a shout out to, Room to Game.
Yeah, no. It has nothing to do with the store. It has nothing to do with the store. Jasco should have a traveling stream equipment, in my opinion. Camera.
I mean,
a camera and a computer is not hard.
That the Virginia PTC last year was streamed.
I know
by Ryan Fields.
Yep.
Who had his laptop with him.
Yep.
Then the morning of went to Walmart.
Yep.
Bought a tripod and a digital camera. Streamed the PTC and then returned the tripod and digital camera to Walmart.
Yep.
And got his money back.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
That's
if you can afford $100 on your credit card for a day, you could stream a PTC.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yep. But so again, I want to say thanks, Iari, for coming on. If you ever want to come back on, just shoot me a message. You're more than welcome to. Maybe we'll have all of the hosts for the entire episode this next time. So poor Barrett had to cut out our traveling correspondent. His phone shut off. So, but anywho, so again. Thanks again. Everyone have a good night, and we'll hopefully see you this weekend. Have a good night, everyone. See you next time on the Guile Treatment.